You know, we're a kindred spirit somehow, and for years I've always wanted to share the feelings that I've had with you, with another person, and it was only until recently that this man decided to go with me. I want to introduce perhaps the greatest voice actor in the history of animation. I call him the King. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, His Royal Highness the Majestic.
I don't know such a word.
The King himself, Frank Welker. So I pumped a few extra pounds of air in the tires.
Oh, wow. Before we begin, if I may, first of all, I want to say thank you all for making me feel so welcome. You all have been fantastic. Each and every one said thank you for coming. I appreciate that so much. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Chris, kid who invited me this year. And of course, if it wasn't for the real king, Peter Cullen, who we say in the business, in show business, we have a saying, generous actor. And what that means is not somebody who gives out things other than like money or fruit. What Peter gives out is pure love. And what he does for his fellow actors is called being generous. Whether it's a script, new actors, he makes sure they get the best lines, and this is all true. When things are going, he makes sure that somebody gets a chance to audition. And when he talks about me, he always says something very, very nice. And I love him dearly, my arch nemesis, and very good friend.
When you first said it, do you mind? Like, I'm going to argue with Megatron. Yeah, do what you want to do, man. You're not here to see me.
Well, I appreciate that, my friend. After all, I am Megatron. Decepticons.
Hail Megatron! Oh, man. Sides already.
It's my
Wait one moment.
Look who's woken up.
One shall stand, one shall fall.
Why do you spend your time on such pathetic rubbish?
Megatron, what happened to you, my brother? Why did you go astray? Why?
You won't know until the 15th new episode.
And there's some truth to it.
A lot of times we have no idea. We get those scripts, right?
You never have an idea. Never. I think it's an impossible thing to track because you never know where the brilliant minds who write these scripts are going to take you. And it's always an adventure for me, and frankly for anyone for that matter, to find out what's going to go after the next episode. Because how far can you take something? They're brilliant writers, as we all agree.
Yeah. And they'll bring in a lot of new talent, and then they, kind of mine them for new creative ideas, see where they can go, but still keeping the basis of the franchise as it is, but still looking for new things. So when you read a script, and we go and read a script, and go, oh, wow, yeah, that's cool. This is good. Oh, yeah.
And then Michael Bay comes in.
Keep it classy.
Open that wound.
Original one?
Original movie. Hey, so Stephen, you mentioned something about that, reading the script of the original movie.
They're asking about the original animated film.
The original animated film, you and I were together.
Yes.
I think it was page 17.
Yes. I remember it well, too.
And I find that I'm getting axed.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Saddest day of our lives.
Rubbed out. Literally cut on the pages. And
Neither of us could believe it.
I said, I can't believe it. Right? This is amazing. Where are they going to go from here, And actors basically, there's a sensitivity that is measured by your ability to perform and how well you perform, or for that matter, how poorly you perform. In that case, I was thinking, I must really suck this off these It's kind of like being in a soap opera, and if you're a challenging, contentious person, and it gets on the nerves of other actors, producers, writers, directors, they'll get rid of you. Quite easily done in a soap opera. What happened to Martha last week?
She came down with a horrible cold.
Is this the beginning of pneumonia?
Mm-hmm.
So we can expect perhaps going to a funeral in 2 weeks. Poor Ethel.
Now there's more lines for me.
But it was a shock, and I don't remember exactly what the whole reasons were, but as what happens sometimes in the world, good things happen, and obviously the correct thing happened, and Optimus Prime came back.
I think it was for 3 shows, Frank. I never knew. On to the next gig. And while you were busy doing Transformers, I was doing, I don't know,
Many shows. Many shows.
Yeah.
Have either of you ever IMDb'd yourself? I mean, really, your credits go on forever.
Busiest guy in the business, right there.
I only Google Frank. I do that so I can humiliate myself. I like to look at Frank and say, see what you have to accomplish before you can become a master. Because he is the king.
Oh,
Do you ever wake up in the middle of the night?
let's go on, shall we? Like the missing steak, which I don't know what that's all about. So.
Either do I.
Because one of you started that.
There was no comment at BotCon. You just opted not to comment about it. You commented about the parking spot.
But where did that come from? What was the steak all about? I mean,
Peter told a story about the steak at 2012 BotCon.
Apparently you're stealing food off of Frank's plate.
That sounds realistic, but
I told that story in confidence. Knowing that Frank would never come to a convention where somebody would snitch on him.
Exclusive at Texas
Okay.
Comicon.
I'm finding out a lot of information. Thank you.
Exclusively.
See what you've been missing out on so long, Frank?
It's all make-believe.
Yes,
I'll talk to you later.
So you had a question for us?
Well, actually, I had a lot of questions with that.
Oh.
Yeah, so we pulled some of our Transformers enthusiasts. We got a few questions from them. One of them was, many voice actors realize they have a talent for creating voices. When and how did you find talent?
Actually, as far back as I can remember, which is 2.5 weeks ago, it's very sad.